What's up YouTube, Savage Hero Brian here, and today I'm going to be doing my second video for a new series I'm doing called Know Your Specs. So basically, we look and talk about the specs of consoles, handhelds, phones, tablets, laptops, and PCs. So today we're going to look at the specs of the original Xbox. So for the CPU, it has a 32-bit 733 MHz custom Intel Pentium 3 Coppermine based processor, which is pretty surprising that these are the specs of the CPU of the original Xbox, because I didn't know myself until I did this video that since the CPU is a 32-bit CPU, then that means that this console is a 32-bit console. While its competitors at the time, the PlayStation 2 and GameCube, had more than 32 bits in the CPU. So now here's a look at the original Xbox's CPU, which has a design that is very plain and simple, which makes sense since you wouldn't even be able to see it inside the console. Now for the GPU side of things, it has a NVIDIA NV2A 233 MHz GPU, allowing the original Xbox to achieve 20 gigaflops. Now let's look at the GPU. So the GPU was made by NVIDIA, and yes, the NVIDIA that created the NVIDIA Shield, the NVIDIA GTX 1080, and also make the Nintendo Switch hardware. NVIDIA definitely knows some knowledge on hardware for consoles. Then for the storage of the original Xbox, it had 8 to 10 gigabytes of external storage stored in the hard drive. The original Xbox was also the first console to use a hard drive. The reason for the 8 to 10 gigabytes of storage on the original Xbox is because there were multiple models of it. So depending on which model you get around this many gigabytes of storage. For the RAM of the console, there were 64 megabytes of RAM in it. Now let's look at the console resolution. The original Xbox displayed a resolution of 480p, which was standard for consoles at the time. Even though the resolution is 480p, the graphics kind of look better than the GameCube's and PlayStation 2's graphics, even though they both displayed 480p. The original Xbox also had a Philips DVD-ROM drive, so you can use discs for the console. Also, if for some reason you didn't know, the Philips DVD-ROM drive was made by the same Philips company that was a rival of Sony in making stuff like DVD players, and was also the same Philips to work with Nintendo to make the most cancerous console on Earth, with also the worst games ever. And this console was called the Philips CDI, which was so terrible because it has games like this.
Is written only Link can defeat
Dinner.
Golly!
What's for dinner?
Ganon!
No! Not into the pit! It burns!
I won!
Okay, let's stop talking about Philips CDI. Lastly, let's talk about the original Xbox controller. So the original Xbox controller was one of the first controllers to have an analog stick above the D-pad and another analog stick underneath the 4 buttons on the controller. The original Xbox controller was also really big compared to other controllers. So yeah, those were the specs of the original Xbox. So please like and subscribe for more content. And with that out of the way, Savage Hero Brian out.